Okay. One of these days, I promise we will get this right. Good evening. It is Boogie with the Bowl. Thursday Night Live. Dave Goldman and Randy Rhodes are here, and we are live on the Colonel Randall Rhodes page. If you see my get past my big head, I'll try to stop moving it. I'm using a different computer tonight. So you see it. It is, in fact, me, and Randy is here. And we're going to have a good time. Come on in and join us on the Colonel Randall Rhodes page. Or give me about a half a second, and it should have shared my profile, in which case you'll be able to watch it there as well.
So while he's getting set up, remember not too long ago, so many years ago, there was a phenomenal movie came out, and it came out in the summertime where people were going to the beach and they were having a good time, and all things, girls in bikinis, girls in no bikinis, out swimming in the water on their surfboards and things like that. And then, you know what happens? I'm not sure why I'm in slow-mo here, but I am.
You are.
I'm not sure why. Let's see what happens. If not, I'll bounce myself. Well, maybe I can't bounce myself out because I'll probably bounce everybody out.
You'll probably bounce us all out.
Let's just do it this way for now. We are late getting started. But, so what happened was this movie came out, and it was so damn realistic that people went absolutely berserks. And they said, you know what? Oh, my God, I am staying out of the water. Remember this?
That's right. Stay out of the water. Okay.
Okay, so I think you got the idea as to what is going on here. And the reason why I wanted to share that was because there has been a huge amount of reports going on where people are seeing the great white shark. And
the great white shark.
People have to realize that from the perspective of a shark or any man-eating amphibious animal, if you're on a surfboard, you're up here, okay, and the shark's down here or whatever that animal might be, and it's looking up. All it sees is the underneath of your surfboard, or maybe the motion of your feet, and it thinks you're a fish. Let me just want to check I want to check my camera set in here. See what's going on. That's set for day 20. I'm not sure why I'm in slow-mo, but I hate to think that if I pull myself out that I might lose you.
Well, then we'll just leave it for the time being, and we'll see
yes. Hey, Kat.
If it works.
I was going to play this clip of the guy who survived the shark attack, but since we're late in the game, I'm not going to play that video. But So people are in the ocean and they're swimming around, they're having fun, and uh, they start seeing all these sharks. So I'm thinking to myself, what's the Coast Guard? What's the Coast Guard? The beach boy, not beach boy. The guy that's lifeguard. The
Lifeguard.
lifeguard's supposed to be look for those kind of things as well as people drowning. So maybe
They are.
along with the uh, early warnings alarms for, I don't know, horrendous downpour rain, we should have a system set up for alerting people in the water when sharks are around. What do you think?
I think we should. I think it senses something there, and it doesn't know what it is. So it's going to it. I don't know if it is in attack mode at that point because it doesn't know what it is, or it knows what it is and it doesn't want you there, which is in that case it is in attack mode. Uh, but if they lose their sense of direction and get themselves closer to shore than they should be, uh, the increased activity is going to set them off because they don't know what to do as far as turning themselves around and swimming out. Uh,
And
I do
just
know that I would not like to be a shark's meal.
yeah, I don't think anybody would appreciate being a shark meal. And just as I said about there must be some kind of warning going on for the sharks. My newsreel popped up with Senate calls for new shark alert system. Wow, they must have heard me. What can I say? Um, so, that guy who Trump sent back to his homeland, and he won his case and got brought back to our country. Um, I can't pronounce his name, so even if I knew what the name was, I probably could pronounce it anyway.
Vidman? Vidman?
Yeah.
Admiral Vidman?
No. He's not. He's not a military guy. He's
Okay.
illegal, and he's sent
Oh, okay.
back to where
Oh,
he belongs.
yeah. Abrego Garcia, the famous guy.
Yes. So
The one who went to El Salvador, got beat up. She says he got beat up there, got moved someplace else. Uh, and they did, in fact, I guess, bring him back so that he could have his day in court. And evidently, they sent him back before the end of the trial, so we don't know if he was going to be deported or not. Because I don't think they will bring him back again.
So this particular guy is suing the Trump administration for $20 million,
Yeah,
and
the extended line.
now you know what? No, I don't think so, Dave. I think this guy is going to maybe not get the 20 mil. He might get 2 mil. I do think he is going to get something out of it for his money's worth. Speaking of money's worth, have you heard the complaints being made about alligator Alcatraz by the inmates there?
Oh yeah, what did they say? Elephant-sized mosquitoes. Uh, it's cold all the time, which I don't understand because the high is around 86 degrees, the low is around 76 degrees, and I'm sure the air is put on to keep them comfortable. And most of these people that are complaining are just complaining because it's like, hey guys, you have two choices. You can put up your 2 weeks and be shipped out of here, or you can voluntarily deport yourself and they'll put you on an earlier flight, I'm sure. So, this, it's a new prison. They can't, the bugs haven't been worked out. The illegals are there. They don't want to be there. It's different than any place else. They agree to hop a plane and leave, and you're not in there anymore.
You know,
That's just me.
um, it's like you said, they're complaining about being in a brand new prison. So they're the very first inmates to sleep on those mattresses. They're the very first inmates to make use of those blankets. They're the very first inmates to make use of those showers. And that's my dog barking, telling us that the groceries just arrived.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, they're
you
also
know,
saying that they're not showering every day. They're getting a shower once a week, which I don't know if I believe.
not no.
Um,
I can't
you
believe
know,
inside a
it, it it's on some kind of a schedule, but I don't buy that it's once a week.
I think it maybe once
You know,
every other. And they actually said that showering every day is actually bad for your skin. But
right?
uh and the complaints, I think I get this, okay? So here I am, I'm an inmate at Alcatraz, alligator Alcatraz, and the mosquitoes are the size of elephants. Okay, well, how did you tell the people outside the gates this? Well, I have a cell phone. Okay, well, take a picture of it and send it to the
Wait a
outside
minute.
world. So
He's in prison, and he's allowed to carry his cell phone.
yes, they have cell phones. That's how they're
Okay,
that's how they're communicating.
so he's in prison. He's in prison. He has a cell phone which he can use to call his family and be in contact with them until whatever his case comes up, and or he hops mass deportation airlines and goes home. I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't been there. I've only seen pictures of it. Yes, it's here in Florida. It doesn't really look that bad, but then again, it's prison, and it doesn't really look that great. I mean, it's new steel beds or metal beds with a mattress that you see in prison, and probably a pillow if you're lucky. And I don't know what you do during the day uh, there besides stay away from the alligators. And you go to bed when I think it's lights out at like 10 o'clock at night. So everybody's going to bed when they're used to going to bed and waking up in the morning. And then, like I said, I don't know what they're doing during the day. So they just gotta have to uh, put up with it. I mean, I'm
So,
sure improvements will be made while they're there until they leave. But this class of 400 is the first class, and they'll make adjustments accordingly. Good evening, Barbara Ammons is watching us. We are live on my profile. I did, in fact, share it to my profile. We're also live on the Colonel Rental Rhodes page where we're getting the feed from. I'm still trying different technologies to see which one I like best. Uh, I like this that we're using tonight. For me, I don't. Uh, I have to do some fussing around with my own EV box to see if we can make some changes. I'd like the box to be a little bit bigger so that you don't really see my head just filling up the whole box. But anyway,
so the guy's name,
watch be a part of the program. Watch be a part of the program. I don't know if we're supposed to see the comments here on screen or not. If we aren't, I'm tracking them on a separate device. So
so
yes, Barbara. What's happening is I'm using an Android 11 tablet running the second to the latest version of Chrome, which is keeping us looking like we belong here. My head is very big. I'm not close to the camera really. My head is just looking like it is very big, and I will get it figured out
okay, so
and
I'm
get
look,
it down to a normal
I'm
size.
actually seeing the comments now. I got my iPad turned the way it's supposed to. So what we
Yep.
have here is David Nobar. Hello, Randy and Dave G. Good evening, all. Uh, David Nobar says, "Hey,
Barbara
Dave."
Emmons.
And Barbara Emmons
Yep.
says, "Hello,
Barbara Emmons.
Randy and Dave." And Barbara says,
Yep.
"Hello, David Nobar." And then
Yep.
Barbara Emmons says, "What changed, Dave? You seem very close to the camera. Hope you're
I
doing
I
well."
I do. I have to mess around with EV Bucks, which we use when Randy is hosting it for me, uh, and learn some. changes my head not quite as big. So it's gonna look that way tonight. But
So we're currently
we're
at
moving at
20
the right
views.
speed. Yep, we're moving at the right speed. We're not, the camera is good. Everything's good. Everybody's happy. I just have to make that slight change. That my head looks more like I'm a part of the conversation, sitting behind my desk like Randy is. And I promise that we will get it. We will get it together. Like I said at the beginning, one of these days we will get it right. And when we get it right, we will stick with that. Uh, what else, Randy? We're talking about
So
Elevator Alcatraz. We were talking about
that
sharks.
okay. So we're so I did find that guy. His name is Mohammed Khalil, the Columbia University protester.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was arrested, thrown in prison for 100 days. Now, get this. He's suing for $20 million. And here are his reasons why. He missed the birth of his child. He lost 15 pounds and he lost sleep. And he said he missed the graduation of his son's gradu. He missed the birth of his son and his graduation from Columbia. Huh?
Well, if he didn't do what he did, he wouldn't have been arrested.
Right.
Where he would be spending his time, that's open to interpretation. We can argue that all night long. But he's you know, if he wasn't if he wasn't in here on what looks like a visa and he didn't violate the visa, he'd be home with his family. Now I understand freedom of speech is a constitutional
I see.
amendment. But what
Okay.
Marco Rubio, our Secretary of State, says is that if you're here on a visa that allows you to be here and go to school, it's not allowing you to protest against the United States while you're here. So if you're going to protest against your host nation, figure out another legal way to get here. Because as far as Tom Homan, the borders is concerned, the minute he stepped over the border, he broke a law. And he and Alex Ocasio Cortez can argue that forever. She says claiming legal asylum is not a crime. And Tom Homan looks back at her and says, well, it's a violation of U.S. Code 8, whatever it is, that says can't enter you can't enter illegally. So he's guilty of coming into the country illegally. Whatever he did while he was here, that's just icing on the cake. But if he didn't do any of that, he wouldn't be in jail, and you know he'd be in a sanctuary city where he's safe until ICE came and took him away, or he left. That's really where we are. Barbara Ammons
Okay.
says I had a text come to my phone today from a number I didn't recognize telling me that my driver's license is going to be suspended tomorrow if I don't pay a charge or a fine.
Oh,
Make
that's
sure
scam.
you okay. It is a scam, and they go as close as they did it to a friend of mine. They found a car the same color and same year as his and took a picture of it. What gave it away, what gave the mistake away was they took a picture of the license plate of the car. And he said, that's not my car. I have a car identical to that, but that's not my car because it's not registered in that state. And I never used that toll road. And they're hoping that you basically open up the mail, or seniors open up the mail and go, okay, that's possible I was there, but I don't remember, and pay whatever the fine is. Don't, don't do it. Call the Department of Transportation for the state that you live in and find out who handles the tolls for that state, and then ask them for clear proof that shows that it is your car, meaning your car and your license plate, and you behind the wheel. That's usually what these things do. They rapid fire as you go under the optical readers. They read the they read the number that is assigned to you. They take a they take a picture that shows you driving. It's not a foolproof system, but they also don't call you. They send you something by mail, and if you directly to the address where the car is registered. So if they send you something that you can prove isn't yours, they're rude when you call them up and say, "Hey, I don't remember being there." You know, you
Yeah,
and
well,
ask for the license plate.
every now and then,
Go ahead, Randy.
I get a text or an email stating, from PennDOT, saying that I have an unpaid fine, or our cameras
Mhm.
caught you driving through a traffic light. I haven't driven like 8 years. I was like, yeah, right.
Right, right. So you call PennDOT and you confirm who you are, and they'll look and they'll go, "No, I'm sorry, Mr. Rhodes, you actually don't have a violation. It's a scam." They may ask you to help them nail the scammer. You know, send them email with the pictures and everything, including what looks like PennDOT letterhead. Send that to uh, well, you can open it, Barbara. It's not going to hurt you to open it.
I
If they
wouldn't
sent
open
it
it.
on, if they
Uh,
sent it online, right? Like Randy's saying, if they sent it to you in email, I would not open
Never
it up
open that. Yeah, just delete
online.
it.
Period. Because if that's not where I had my last thing from, or like Randy said, PennDOT, because he's in Pennsylvania. If you get an envelope, you can open up the envelope. It doesn't hurt anybody. And
Yeah,
sometimes you want to be sure that it is that is one a valid one that you didn't pay, because if you don't pay it, they can go after your driver's license and the car registration. So at least we'll be driving on the highway, and in Connecticut, in Florida, it's so confusing which lane takes you on to the pay toll. And the only reason for pay tolls is because it's like an expressway that moves you fast. So we'll make a wrong turn and we'll end up in that lane. And then because I don't think about it, because I just don't think about it anymore, we'll get an envelope in the mail that is legit. Just didn't pay it. And
yes. So, Barbara, when you get text message to your cell phone, and
yeah,
it's from a
no,
person you don't know, and it's something that you know it's not right. Like, for example, though you're telling us here about this car thing. Don't even open it. Delete it, because some people have the
yeah,
ability to access your cell phone simply by clicking on that link. They grab your
right,
information from your phone, and if you do banking on your phone, stuff
oh
like
yeah,
that, they get access
yep,
to it. The same way with an
yep,
email. If you get an email and you see what it is and you recognize it as being scam, don't even open it.
yeah, right,
Don't open the attachments. Just
yeah,
delete it. Okay? Because if
yeah.
you open up
And
the
on your
attachment,
phone,
they got you.
right, on your phone, if it says whatever area code and number it is, potential scam, don't answer. Wait for them to leave a message. And if they don't leave a message, delete it. Just delete it. Just delete your call history. I would block the number so they have to find another phone number to
Yeah.
call you from again. Because even the professional scammers will call you on one number, and then the next day they'll call you on another number in the same area code, thinking that you'll maybe answer that one. And they're using your area code and even the first three numbers that
Yeah.
resemble yours to
To
make you
mimic.
think that it's
Yep.
somebody in your area.
Yep.
And
So your smartphone is smart, Barbara. It's going to
it is.
identify incoming calls, and if it's not something that has not seen you take before, or call out to, it's going to identify as being potential scam. More likely it is. You can hit decline on it, like I do, or let it go to voicemail, and then
Yeah,
just delete the voicemail and then block the phone number. Now, they have the
yeah,
ability with computers to continually hit your phone dozens and
they
hundreds of
do.
times a day. you need
I
to
do.
go to the National Do Not Call website and
Well,
place your phone numbers as do not call. And eventually it works, it kicks in, but it does take
it
some
takes a
time.
long time. It takes a long time because I've been on it for I don't know 15, 20 years, and
Well, you have to make
it doesn't work.
well,
It doesn't work.
well, when you first sign
I've had
up.
I've had the same phone number for probably 20, at least 20 years.
So we got two new viewers. Morris Myers, he's one of my clients for Ancestry, and we have
Okay. Good evening,
Alex
Morse.
and Alex Wissonet. He is my general of the
Okay.
Gray Ghost. He's also one of my clients. He and his wife. So
Do
they're
I need to
both.
stand up and do I need to stand up and salute Morris?
No, you're not in uniform.
Oh, okay.
You're not
Thank
in
you.
uniform, Bob. But hey, hang on a second.
I
Here you go. I'm in partial uniform, General. Yeah, I know.
okay.
I just need to get the shirt going on. But uh, I looked, and I'm on a very tight budget, and uniforms are expensive.
Yeah, they
Uh,
are.
so what I'm looking
They are.
for is to get like a white shirt and then sew on the like patches to to show my
Yep.
support. But anyways, I
Yep.
got that going on. But guys, thanks for being
Okay.
here. I hope you're
Yeah, we
enjoying
appreciate
everything.
that you're here. I hope you are. I hope you are. Like I said, we're doing our best to accommodate me in doing the broadcast. And right now, it
So
helps if Randy sends me a link, and I'm a guest
yeah,
on my own show.
there you go. Two of my favorite cereals got bought out, guys. Two of my most favorite of all cereals, Fruit Loops and Frosty Flakes, got bought out by an Italian company, and they
Really?
bought the cereal for
Wow.
$3 billion. So I
Well, I
guess
could see.
now,
I could see 3 billion for Fruit Loops,
thank you,
but
Barbara.
you
Barbara
know
likes my head.
most. Okay. Uh,
It's just a little
you
big.
can. Most people may not realize that you can get Fruit Loops that are just as good as the Kellogg's brand or the Post brand, whichever one they are,
Yeah.
uh, for a fraction of the price, and they're just as good because they're I mean, not as much. Fruit Loops are one of my most favorites.
Yeah, we used to
And
buy.
you can get them a lot cheaper than the brand.
Yeah, we used to go to
Go ahead, Randy.
back when I used to drive. We used to go to a discounted uh, grocery store. It's called Aldi's, um,
Yeah,
and we used to buy the cereal in bags, and you couldn't tell the
mhm.
difference. You couldn't tell the difference.
No, you can't. You can't. You can't. You know, I mean, if you're, for lack of putting it better, anal retentive, and you have to have the brand sitting in front of you, then shopping at Aldi's for you just isn't going to work. But and you have to pay a quarter for the grocery cart, or you get lucky and you get into rotation. Someone puts someone puts the quarter in first, and then passes it off to someone who passes it off to someone who passes it off to someone, and whoever collects them and brings them back in at night makes a quarter. Or I don't know, they just keep them loose and out the next day. Uh, the only reason for the quarter is that they figured that if you pay a quarter for it, you're not going to leave the property with the cart.
Yeah,
But
yeah. You guys got plug that quarter into the slot to release a grocery cart. Uh, you know, I've seen people. Uh,
a lot of people bring their own
yes,
reusable bags and just
yes.
walk the aisles and fill the bag, and then go up to the cash register, put all their stuff on the belt, and then when it's done and it rolls up, they just throw it in the bag and leave.
I've seen people actually load up their grocery cart and go right out the store, and then keep on going down this parking lot and into the street. And I've seen them take it to the bus
There's
stop. And when the bus get there, they unload their groceries. They leave the grocery cart behind at the bus
It's
stop. Uh,
it's kind of
which
hard to do that at most of the ones I know. That's like you can't get to the door to leave without going through a cash register. And there's cameras all over that store. Regardless of what anybody says, there's
but
cameras all over that store that see what you do.
But there are some people who don't care, So they know the cameras are there and they don't care if they're getting caught on camera because they know that in most cases the person in that store is not going to chase your ass down because the company has rules. Do not chase after shoplifters. If you do, you're
Well,
fired.
some of them now have a posted security guard. Whether or not they will chase you to wherever you're going to go, I don't know, but they will follow you until you leave the property. Once you leave the property, they will go after you. But the bottom line is that if you want generic fruit loops and you want them for $1.50 box, then you don't want to steal from Aldi's. Because if
Yeah,
you keep stealing from Aldi's, that generic box of Aldi's brand Fruit Loops is going to go up to about $9 a box
yeah.
because they think they have expenses of operating that store. I mean, I just don't understand it anymore. I mean, you know,
People don't
the
care.
the Walmart check your receipt. Most of the time, they never look at the receipt. Half the time, they never look at our receipt. And they never even that. We can hold up something that looks like the receipt we just got, but we could go and fill up the cart and hold up an old Walmart receipt, and they're going to go, okay, great, and send you on the way, or they're not there, or they're talking on their cell phone, or they're playing games on their cell phones, and you know you don't you you want to keep Walmart happy if you want the
Yeah.
stuff you buy to roll back all the time. If not,
Okay, so
you're
so we
screwed.
have
And that box.
Okay,
Go ahead.
so we have some comments here to read. So
Okay.
Alex Wissonet is talking to Morris Myers, who's also watching our show, saying for him to call him anytime he
Yep.
wants to. Regina Musser, she's on now. She's also one of my clients. She says, "Thanks for the Family Day episode." Because when I did the shout out on Facebook, I said Tuesday is Family Day with Boogie with the Bow.
It
And
is.
then Alex says to me, I got that exact same hat hanging on the wall along with 20 or 30 other Confederate hats that bear our colors. I always make a point to forward and wear my colors no matter where I go. Folks want to know what you stand for. They won't know unless you give them something to understand. And it's a great way to get the conversation started to network with like-minded people. He's absolutely right. People don't understand,
Right.
first off, Tom Vernon is one of my clients. He's not
Yep.
watching, but he gave me these flags and he gave me the hat as a nice gesture uh,
Mm-hmm.
to uh, uh, show the colors, as like the Alex was saying. But there's some people who don't understand. Um, that's actually hurt with the headphones on. They don't understand, certain things. And when I go through and I do people's ancestry, and you realize, those on left will do whatever they can, for example, to tear down Confederate statues, to deface the monuments, to
Right.
tear down the paintings because they says that it reflects and supports slavery. Well, Morris Myers is on here chatting, and he's one of my clients. And
Mm-hmm.
Morris Myers is a wonderful colored man, and his second great grandfather and third great grandmother I've recently found were slaves. But Morris
Yep.
doesn't care about that. He supports the Confederacy. He's all in uniform. He has the flags. He goes out there and he supports flaggers. And even though as a
Mm-hmm.
black man and he has ancestors who were slaves, he doesn't care because it wasn't about the slavery. Now, his
Right.
second grade parents lived a hard life, but when they were freed
Mm-hmm.
on July 4th of whatever the year was, uh, they could have left, but they stayed. And they
Yep.
stayed because at that point their master was sick. He was living most of his time in bed. And I got proof to verify all this. And they stayed
Hmm.
to help to continue to support him, to plant the
Right.
cotton, to harvest the cotton, to feed him in bed.
Hmm.
They could have left when they did, but they didn't. And then you can look at the American flag. You know,
Right.
look at all the people right now who are protesting on college university campuses, and they're protesting the American flag. I don't think there's anything that we could do as an individual to make these people happy because they'll find something
Oh,
to complain about.
well, if you destroy the flag, President Trump has, I believe, the House working on, I don't know if it's an amendment or just a law that will include mandatory prison time if you deface or destroy an American flag. And it will probably remain on the books long after he's gone, regardless of whose party is in. And I think he's looking for a year, 2 years of mandatory jail time. I'm not sure if that's what you need, but there should be some kind of penalty. Maybe it's very strong, well enforced probation, but something to make sure that you're not doing it again. Because again, if you're in this country and you don't respect the things that we respect, and you don't respect us, your host nation, then why the hell are you here? I mean, go home or go someplace else. Ilhan Omar will not go back to Somalia because I believe it's a if you go back, you wish you didn't go back kind of return. Some people have that, and if they're facing that, there's no reason to be an illegal immigrant anymore. Go to go to immigration and work it out and get on a pathway to becoming a citizen. I mean, people come here and do it every day. People get told no the first time or whatever. They correct the paperwork and make sure everything is all set and ready to go, and they submit it a second time, and boom, there you are. You're told you have to meet this person or that person, and as long as you meet this person or that person, and you do what you need to do to become an American citizen, you become one. You know? And I guess right now, instead of taking the Pledge of Allegiance, you now take the oath too. I forget what the last word is, but they don't call it the pledge anymore because I guess they don't want to offend anybody, which makes no sense to me at all. These people decided they want to be American citizens, and I would think that they would be offended taking an oath instead of using the pledge, because that's what we do. That's what everybody does, and it kind of describes what we do and why we do it. But anyway, go ahead, Randy.
Yeah, I totally agree. So, um, you know, um, I remember a time when uh, we lived in California, and California is a fairly liberal state. But one of the things that the people on the military base did to try and teach young folks when they first started driving, um, they had a horrific car accident with two cars, and the people died in the car crash. And what they did was they placed the two cars at the entrance to the base as a warning, as a sign saying, slow down, and you'll get home safely. Um,
Yep.
and that's a hellish way to get someone to wake up and say, you know what, maybe I should slow down. But I was going through
Good.
a bunch of when I do genealogy, I have Facebook Reels on my second monitor, half the screen,
Hmm.
and it does, it keeps me awake, keeps me alert, and it's entertaining. And I'm not
Yep.
sure, what generated the slew of reels I got, but a Confederate site, uh, maybe it could be Confederate. Now it's showing the Texas
There's
flags,
one.
so I'm going to assume it was Confederate.
Okay.
But it was a Texas flag in the background. But it was showing it was computer generated, but it was showing Jesus walking with one child, hugging on to his neck and riding his
Yep.
back, and a little girl walking beside him, walking through the water, and several like that of similar type of content. And
Mhm.
as I was looking
There
into it,
are. Okay.
as I was looking into this, I did some more deep dive search into it, and I was screaming on my computer because Mystic Camp, okay, and people might hate me for saying this, and if you do, that's all right with me. But um, Mystic Camp sits 225 feet from the Guadalupe River. Okay,
Mhm.
about 30 years ago, the Guadalupe River had a massive flooding due to torrential rainfall with almost the exact kind of horrific uh, destruction. But here we are
Mhm.
now, 30 years later. We got this camp along this river, and they placed the youngest children in the cabins 225 feet from the river.
Yep.
Not the
And
eldest, not middle aged, but the youngest. They tell the
the
kids to turn their
lamestream.
phones off so they're not supposed to be on their phones. Turn your phones off.
Right.
And if your phone is like my phone, when the shit's going to hit the fan, it sends me a high pitched tone and alert.
Yep. Yep.
If these kids had their phones turned on, it may not have made a big difference, but it may have made
Well,
a difference of at least
the
maybe a minute,
counselors,
something.
the adults there should have done more. I don't know how much more they could have done, but they should have done more. The lamestream media needs to do a lot more because I saw reports right as soon as it happened that said 27 dead young ladies, or actually 27 missing young ladies, and I saw 27 dead young ladies. And no, it's half dead, half alive. It's like no one really knew anything. Uh, you know, it made me want to be there and try to help anybody that I could help. Um, but it was just a horrific event. Uh, Prayers to the families straight across, prayers to everybody involved straight across. And, you know, I don't understand why the greatest country in the world, I guess, we're supposed to be, that has technology like we do, couldn't do something to avoid that tragic loss, for lack of putting it better.
So while the folks on the left are calling out the ICE agents, they're identifying who they are, they're releasing their addresses and phone numbers, they're releasing where they're at when they go to make the arrest so that people can be there, like just locally, so they can be there to hold riots and try to prevent them from doing what they're doing. John Fetterman says that what was it? That it was inappropriate. I quote: inappropriate and outrageous to abolish ICE or treat officers as criminals. And President Trump says John Fetterman is exactly what you said. You're right. You're right.
Right,
And Fetterman
right.
said that his parents are so proud of his son because of what Trump said about him.
I,
Isn't that
I
a
have a
place?
I have a fun. Well, I have a funny feeling that I've had for a long time that we call rhinos Republicans in name only. I believe that John Fetterman is a Dino Democrat in name only, and I don't know what is just keeping him from crossing the aisle. You know, they can't kick him out. They can't kick him out just because. Democrats elected him.
Yeah.
You can change parties, and I personally think, aside from his attire, does he wear proper attire when he's in the building? No, but you know, uh, I'm sure the House tailor can work with him and find more appropriate clothing that he can wear. I don't think he wears dress shirts because I believe he said that that with a tie is not comfortable on his neck. And if you look at him, he's a big guy. He's like 6'5" and has a neck that is like 2 cities wide. And, uh, but I don't know. I think John is going to become I think John's going to become a Republican.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice. I mean, um, the guy still needs to dress up. I mean, that this just blows my mind that he shows up in a sweatsuit. Um, but
Right.
until someone tells him
Well,
otherwise, I guess he'll keep dressing the way he's dressing.
I
Um,
guess if you're up, I guess if you're up there and you're working, you're not seeing people. Uh, you're not seeing people from your district or other people visiting the Capitol building. Keep a suit in your in your office, and then wear whatever you want to wear when you're not on the floor. But if you have to go to the floor, yeah, everybody tries to dress appropriately for uh,
so
for those meetings.
I saw this recently, and
Yep,
again, it goes to blow my mind how stupid various governments can be, especially in war areas. And I talked about Ukraine, I talked about Russia, I talked about Israel, but I don't very seldom get a chance to talk about the Houthis and what they're doing to commercial cargo ships. Why in the hell are these cargo ships out in the ocean traveling through an area where the Houthis have control of? Because you know, when you send a ship in there without any kind of protection, guess what's going to happen, folks? This is what's going to happen. You're going to have your cargo ship go down above the ocean.
well,
And that just recently happened. Come on, folks. You just
well,
lost whatever's on
that was
that ship and its crew members.
well, that was a mistake on our part too, because if it was our ship, our navy supposedly is there or going there, and they're not having a naval war on the water with Iran because Iran has threatened to block the strait, but I don't think they have the gonads to actually do it. Uh, we should be there. Our navy should be there, and when it looks like we're going to get threatened, then we should be sending the big ship we have in there to like, no, this is not going to happen. People are going to use the strait, just like people use the Panama Canal. People are going to use the strait. Uh, everybody pays the toll to use the strait. It doesn't belong to any one country, and it would be stupid for Iran to do anything like try to close it down and not allow everybody to go through because it would just turn into a major sea battle. And Iran, I know it has a navy anyway. I don't know how they would defend it.
What do you
Uh,
think about what California just did? It wasn't too long ago that, oops, it wasn't too long ago that, um, uh, yeah, I see you. It wasn't too long ago that um, you had those horrific fires and those multi-million
yeah,
dollar homes were destroyed. Okay.
they were.
And
Yep.
so instead of allowing,
Still have the same governor.
yeah, and that's because he cheats. But so I don't know if the people who own this property on the land were given the opportunity to rebuild their multi-million dollar homes to stay there. But it appears to be that what he did
Well,
was he seized the properties worth, I think, like $100 million, and he's making it into low income housing only.
well, the plan I heard was that the land is being seized and BlackRock is buying the land for a significant discounted price. What they're going to do with it, I don't know.
Well,
Maybe it will be low income housing, but I don't, I can't tell you that for sure. But evidently, the plan is BlackRock wants to own all that land. BlackRock wants to build neighborhoods, whether they rent them or sell them. It doesn't. Well, they don't want to sell them. They want to build them, and they want you to rent. And BlackRock will become the largest property owner in the country if they did that. And what they should do is they should take back every piece of the United States sovereignty that is owned by a foreign country and say no, aside from embassies, you know. But like China and its 300,000 acres of farmland, no, 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 no. Uh, because if we did what we should do, we bring the American farmer back. We would take care of the American farmer. We would help them,
yeah.
and they would knock Smithfield brands right out of this country because they're owned by the CCP, and everybody knows that. So,
So to the people who are still watching, Alex, Regina, Morris, Barbara, David Nobar, if you guys want to come on to the show, let me know. I'll send you a link.
yeah,
Also, if you have any
be fun.
comments, any topics that you want to talk
Yeah,
about,
got a
because
topic? Let us know. Yep, yep,
uh, we're,
yep.
we're coming to possibly an end here shortly. So I'm sure you guys probably a little bit tired of hearing me talk. So Barbara,
Well,
do you have any
yeah.
topics you want to talk about? Regina, Alex, Morse,
Please,
or anybody who are
feel
not making
free.
comments who are watching? I do know that we're over like 30 some odd people in viewership.
Hmm.
Uh, that's the last time I looked, anyways. Um,
That's good. Yeah,
so if anybody is interested,
yeah,
let me know and I'll send you a link,
yeah.
or at least we'll read your comment and um,
Right.
we'll go from
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, a lot of the other broadcasts don't
Uh,
do that. That's always been an important part to me, reading the comments and involving you in the broadcast. Like Randy said, you're more than welcome to get a link and come on. And I hope you do
yeah,
because
we're
we
37
come
views.
in with a minimum plan to get us going and get conversation going, and then we hope that everybody will kick in and be a part of it. And again, coming on it, like Randy said, getting a link coming on it is more fun than sitting in the live chat, uh, having a conversation with us.
Yeah, Barbara Amon says, I still remember back in 64, there was 4 days of rain here in October. So the family got in the VW bug and went to look at the river. My dad was 27 at the time, driving the VW with a wife and 4 kids in the back seat. We were small. Water was coming in and about 4 inches deep. Funny how memories like that are so real. Barbara, you mentioned something. I don't know if you ever see it. If you're interested, I'll send you the people I follow. But I follow a couple outfits on Facebook, and what they do is uh, they are only water rescue only. So they'll search and they'll be notified. People reach out to them. Hey, it's been 37 years. My daughter, my son, my husband, whatever, went in the car one day and never came back. And his route takes him across these bridges around these. And would you go search for him? So they'll get in. They're trained scuba divers and so forth, and they'll go into these rivers, and they have radar, they have sonar, they'll detect the cars,
Mm-hmm.
they'll dive in on them, and unfortunately, they'll find what's left of whoever's inside the car. But the big thing is that it brings closure to the family. Now they know what
Yeah.
happened and so forth, and they're
A lot of times they find people.
yeah.
My grandfather went off the road once, went down into a small ravine that was far enough off the road that, unless someone saw him, which I guess they did, they wouldn't, he would have been there. And he had he had fallen asleep behind the wheel, but he was a okay. He just couldn't get his car when so you know okay. He just couldn't get it. People want to help people. They don't want to. Nobody wants to hear all this death and destruction and all of that stuff. And that's more of what we need to do. You know.
Yeah. And I won't say I get enjoyment out of it, but I get, 'cause some of it is very sad. Well, all of it's really sad, some more so than others. Um, like, the one where they found the car and it was a young woman who was pregnant and she had her 2 kids
Mhm.
with. Turns out she committed suicide with the
Yeah.
kids inside, which is pretty sad. But without people like him or like what's happening right now in Texas, we're down to having, the cadaver dog coming out. And I was watching this one live feed, and this person was out helping with the search. And he says, now I've gotten down to a point where they're finding people by the smell that the decaying body emits.
Mhm.
Um, uh, and, that's sad. And
It
people,
is.
and I hate to say it, again, this might be because of my weakness of my faith. I don't know, but you always hear, well, God had a reason for it to happen. Well, I don't think that's the case. How can God have a reason for all those people to be killed in the floods? You know, I just I'm sorry, I can't fathom the reason behind why God would allow that to happen, or something along that
Okay.
lines. Um, but uh, but what are you going to do? It happened. You have to learn from the lesson. You have to.
Mhm.
I'll tell you what. Right now, if that campsite or any campsite or even some of the homes that people owned that were right alongside the river, if they rebuild on that exact same spot, shame on them. Because what's to say 30 years from
Well,
now or 10 years from now, it doesn't happen again?
hopefully when you rebuild, if you rebuild on that same piece of land, hopefully you're building better to better withstand what what you might what you might go through. I mean, I have to say, if you're living in a home that's been in your family passed down from one to the other, and it gets destroyed, my gut instinct would be to build it as best as I can, and protect it before I pass it down to,
Yeah, but how
to
but
someone.
how but how do you build any type of structure to withstand the power of a Russian river? I mean, bridges were knocked down, trees were uprooted, the ground was leveled.
Well,
I mean, the only way that you can
you,
test a structure's construction is to imitate a river flooding at the power behind it to make sure it stands up. For example, your super skyscrapers. Okay, they're designed to
yep,
withstand the
I've been
earthquake.
in one of
Okay,
those. I've been
uh,
in one of those. It was
so
on the
in
18th, it was on the 17th floor, no, 16th floor in a 7.8, and it, like you just said, it swang to the right, it swang to the left, it shook up and down, and then it was gone. Yeah, yeah.
I
But
don't know. I mean, um,
so much of what is happening right now, weather-wise, I have to say, and other people I know have said it too, they think there is help is being given to those situations so that we're they're receiving more rain than they should, uh, which leads to these kinds of things. They're not just natural disasters. I mean, we live in Hurricane Alley down here in this part of Florida. I understand all of that, and you're ready for when that happens. But look at Texas, and you go, that's not natural. And if
Yeah.
it is, we need to do something to augment it so that it's not natural, so that it doesn't happen that way. Uh, you know, I don't know if you can stop the rain, but you can move water around so that it doesn't flood. You can drain off some so that it doesn't flood. Uh, you know, I don't think I don't think we do that as well as we should in some areas.
Yeah, we're
But you
supposed
know,
to get
I
we're
don't
supposed to get
I
we're
don't
supposed
know.
to get we're supposed to get severe storms down here shortly. And the last time it hit, we
Yep,
actually lost power 4 times. It actually
yep.
made me almost think about contacting Comcast and getting the battery backup for my computers because
Yeah.
I was in the process of doing some work, and had it been really important stuff, like it's a thousand word document, and I still typing, and I lost my power, that would have pissed me off. But it wasn't like that. But you know, yeah, I'm kind of close to thinking about maybe looking into the cost of a battery backup for my computer, um,
Okay.
just just to see
Well,
what's
you know who I would tell you to go talk to. So go talk to that person uh, because that person is as diligent in finding the right things for the right people as you are in finding the right information
yeah.
about those people.
Yeah,
So
but one of
I
the
will.
things about going through Comcast is already have already one of the customers, any expense they would just add to my monthly bill, and it'd be a monthly, like a rental, I guess, of the battery
Oh, okay.
backup. But if
Yeah,
I were to go to
yeah,
like
yeah,
some kind of computer store, it's going to be like a out of pocket expense. Um,
yeah,
let's see
yeah.
where everything. So
All
if
right,
anyone,
guys. I don't want to.
yeah,
I don't want to track this on, but if we're hitting fan and running out of stuff,
yeah, and I
if
just
Randy
gotta,
is willing, if Randy is able at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, we have Red Friday or soon. Remember everyone deployed. Uh, and if Randy's not willing, I'll do it solo, but Randy's usually willing. Uh, and that's usually limited to about an hour because Randy has to be done by 11 o'clock
well, I mean, either way,
in the
if you
morning.
wanted to do a dry run to see if your end works, that way you have control of the narrative. If
Yeah.
not, then we'll use my software, and I have control
I
of
don't,
the
no, no, no. I talked to someone and I
yes,
was told
Igor.
that even
Yes.
that the well, I was told that the monitor that is my screen, my camera, and the headphones are plugged into it would work fine. We tried it this morning and it worked fine. I didn't touch anything except I didn't, I couldn't leave it flat on my desk because I needed to Chromebook during the day. But it does work. They told me a switch somewhere or a change somewhere in Easy Months that makes our boxes life preview, makes it bigger. So I'm going to find that for you because that's the kind of guy I am. And I'll look more normal and more normal stuff than that.
Yeah.
And we'll have that. It's easier for people to watch, I'm sure. But for your genealogy needs, you want to go to All Roads Lead to Home Genealogy. That's Randy's group. I believe it's private, but you can go and request membership, or you can send a message to Colonel Randall Rhodes, and he'll answer all of your questions and for sure. And he finds fantastic information. He really does. I get mad at him all the time and tell him to throw away everything that he found, and then everything gets worked out. And but right now he's finding really good stuff. I think right now he sent somebody a picture of somebody from 1548,
Yeah, it was a
like
painted.
14th grade,
It was
14th grade. Yeah, it was painted, but it was back in 1548, something like the 14th great
grandfather.
grandfather or granduncle. I don't remember. So,
Yeah. Actually, I sent one of each. I sent you
yeah,
the
yeah,
father, and I sent you the son. Um,
yeah.
but just a,
It's
just a
it's
just a matter of taking the time,
it's
like I
such
do. You know.
it's such great stuff that he says. And the problem is, he lists my mother's father's side and my father's father, on one thing, and I'm reading and I'm going, well, wait a minute, no, that's not this one, that's not that one. I have to realize I'm reading both. But he does do good work. He really does do good
Yeah,
work, and
the best way when you're doing someone's ancestry, it's best to both get both the paternal and maternal side of the family. There are some folks who say, "Screw my wife! I don't want her side of the family. Just do my side of the family." But there are some people who want both sides because you are married and you're paying the fee. Might as well get your wife's side, and that's what I do. I mean, Regina, Alex, Morse, the three people right here, they're current active members of my genealogy. They can, if you want to reach out to them personally and ask, hey, what kind of guy is this guy? They'll tell you. And I hide nothing. I'm a
yeah,
Yankee, and I'm a Southerner in Yankee skin. What can I say? I don't know how
yeah,
that happened, but I blame my mom and my dad. But but when
yeah,
but in a way though, do I? Because I'm so busy helping other people, I don't get a chance to work on my own. But I
yeah.
found uh, relatives who live out west and down south who were the Rhodeses and the Bretzes, my dad's name, my mom's maiden name, and they're out there and they find each other and to get married. And then you have this big gap in time. Here we are. The Rhodes is my dad's side. The Bretts on my mom's side here in Pine Grove, and they see each other and they get married. How the hell did two exact same family surnames meet each other hundreds of miles apart and interact? And that's something I have a chance to look into. But that's you
Oh,
know it's just phenomenal what
yeah.
you can find when you spend the time to look. And uh, so,
It
anyways,
is.
any
It is.
final words for Boogie with the Bow?
We'll deal with the bull. Let's see. Like I said, tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. is our Red Friday morning caffeine. That takes up about 15, 20 minutes, depending on how Randy usually goes into. Uh, and see it's always usually, I tell people the broadcasts are usually politics, news of the day, uh, everything America, and a generous dose of whatever comes out of our mouths. So again, if you want to be
Which
part
is
of the
usually bullshit.
broadcast, you can come into yeah. So you can come into the live chat
Hey, Dave,
and
hold,
tell
hold
tell
right
us
there,
what.
Dave. Hold right there. I'm going to pull it out your. There, I got the tonsils.
Okay, but
Uh,
but yeah, we just like to have fun.
we have
I
fun.
mean, it's really become in the last few weeks. It's really become more fun than than a lot of the other ones that you see on. Uh, we can talk about serious stuff, but we just don't talk about all the fun stuff. We want people to talk with us about it.
Yeah.
Anybody is welcome to join us. on screen, provided Randy's equipment can get everybody on. But
I can
yeah,
get 5 people on a time.
we're and sometimes by doing that, sometimes we'll find someone who doesn't realize how much they like it, and they'll
Yeah,
become part of the family.
it's just a way
And
of blowing up. That's a good way of
it
blowing our
is,
time.
it is
Yeah,
a good way. It's a good way
yeah,
of blowing steam off
there you
some
go.
days. Because some days, sometimes you just need to sit back, away from all the seriousness, and just talk about
Yeah,
stu- I won't say shit because I don't like to say shit, but sometimes being stupid and just going off and being stupid is makes people laugh, and everybody needs to laugh. We don't laugh enough these days, uh, and we do it so that it just works. But like I said, if anybody wants to be a part of it, they can be a part of it. I think I've said that 27 times in the last 30 seconds, so everybody's gotten it. I do want to thank. Whoops, I had it on my screen and then it went away. Now I have to get it back again. Uh, Barbara Ammons, I want to thank, and David Novar, I want to thank. Actually, Dr. David Novar, I want to thank. One of the best computer technicians I have ever had the privilege to work with. Not always happy with things that he says, and I have argued with him a lot on things that he says. And I will tell you that a dedicated person that will help you out as best as he can. You have to contact him by messenger and ask him if he can help you. Uh, and if he can't, maybe he'll tell you when he can. But David's got a lot going on in his personal life and is tied up all the times with a schedule on that. So don't be mad if he says, "Can you please get a hold of me later? I was trying to sleep," or he takes time to get an answer from him. Just respect that. He will get back to you as soon as he can, as fast as he can. Uh,
yeah. So,
you do not know the answer. Robin Brunson was watching, and Robin Brunson will tell you that that coffee company in her home state is the best coffee around. And I know Barbara Emmons was watching and laughing at the sides of my head on the screen. And aside from that, and holding it at the right angle so that it looks somewhat normal. And I have to go through also and see if I can change so that every time I move, I'm moving the right way on my screen as opposed to its reversed right now. I have to figure that out. But anyway, yeah, come have some fun with us. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m. till usually 11 a.m. That's Eastern time. Tuesday, Thursday, 7 p.m. Till no later than 8:30 usually, and that's probably what we're coming up on. So it's probably time. Yeah, we are. So let I'll turn it over to Randy and let Randy talk, and
yep.
we'll kind of close it up.
So I'll close up here. I have 2 openings on my calendar once again. Some folks have seen come to the end. They got what they wanted from the research. So I do have 2 openings on my calendar. If you're interested, reach out to me. Tell me what you're looking for, and I'll tell you if I can help. And if I can't, I'm not going to lie and say I do and just take your money. I'll tell you honestly if I can help you or not. And what I'll do is I give you the 30-minute free trial. I put in information, and what pops out, I'll share with you. And if you see what you like, and sometimes that's all you people want to see, and that's fine. But when people see what I've been able to do in 30 minutes, they say, you know what, for what you're asking me to pay you for a whole month, holy shit, let's go for the whole month time. And you'd be surprised. I had one guy come back to me for his dad for his birthday. The dad is paying for a full month of my services for his birthday gift. So that's an idea, folks. You have a birthday and anniversary, and you want to do something nice for your loved one. How about family research? You'd be surprised what you're going to find out, and you'll be amazed, and you'll be ecstatic. I can find all kinds of good and bad stuff, and when I find the bad stuff, I always give you the heads up. Do you want me to add it or not? In most cases, people say, "Yep, I want to see the good and the bad," and so that's what I do. But all roads lead to Genealogy or Colonel Randall Rhodes, or reach out to the fine folks that are in the comment section, which would be Regina Musser, it'd be Morris Myers, it'd be Alex Wissonet. They're my three of my clients. They're absolutely phenomenal people. And you know what? Uh, uh, so is Dave. Dave and I, we have our arguments, we have our fights, we have our
We do.
knockdown, drags out fights, but
We
eventually we
do.
find ourselves and we come back and we do what we do best,
Yep.
which is talk.
Yep.
And we can talk and we
Yep.
can talk and we can talk. With that, I'm going to bring it to an end. Any
Good.
final word, Dave?
This is the final word. Bring it to an end.
See you guys.
I'm glad you were all here. 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. That's 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow morning. We'll do a brief one.